Adoration is your latest movie. It's about man's relationship with technology of 21st century, about cyberspace, about living in virtual computer world. What was the message and to whom it was dedicated?
Well, the message is that we have always used technology to extend ourselves and to find a way of communicating who we are. I think we're at a particular place in our evolution where it's possible to have a very schizophrenic existence. I mean, anyone who's on Facebook and has more than 200 friends is actually surpassing the natural capacity for contact. So we're living in a place where we can have a virtual version of ourselves and a real version of ourselves. And maybe that's not so strange anymore. It's actually quite normal. And so this is a film about a 15-year-old kid who creates this alternate version of himself using the net to communicate this not only to his friends, but ultimately then it becomes viral and then it gets out to a greater global community. And even though he's creating this character to find himself, he gets to a point where that's not enough. I mean, it's not enough to have this story out in the virtual world. He still has to deal with it in the real world, and that's what the film sort of charts.
You are the writer, producer, and film director of this movie. What was the most difficult for you, or what is the biggest passion for you?
I think the biggest passion is probably the writing. You know, like coming up with the idea, and then there's that magical place when it all comes together when you have the performances. In this case, one of the most interesting. There's a lot of chats with kids because he's a 15-year-old, and we used real kids from high schools, like we did. So they're not actors, and there's a lot of kids who are responding to his story, and that worked really well, and it was really exciting to see. Yeah, and it feels very natural, especially in the first half of the film. The second half of the film is more traditional, but the first half is using a lot of these conversations.
You called to be an independent film director, brilliant independent film director. What's the line between commercial movie and independent? What do you think?
How much money they make? No, but I think so. I mean, I think once an independent film makes a lot of money.
But I know there's a lot of known actors playing in your movies, like Bacon, like
Scott Speedman, and I mean, the thing is that it's the way you finance it and the control you have, really. I mean, in an independent film, you're independent, of the studios. But if you want studio financing, then you're going to need to listen to the studio. So it's really, but that line has become a lot. Sorry. Just attacked you. But it's become very blurry. It's become very blurry now. You know, I think. But you know, like a lot of well-known actors work in smaller films if they are passionate about the parts. You know.
All right. What means to you to show this film to Polish audience, in front of Polish audience?
Well, I just think I've been so influenced by Polish cinema. I mean, it's such a sophisticated film culture, and from the early films of Wajda and Polanski and Skolimowski, and of course they have. You know, and Kieslowski, of course, has been a huge influence. So it's amazing to come here and to share the film with this very sophisticated film audience. You know, I mean, I think that Polish artists have had a very strong influence on me, not only in cinema as well, in music and literature, and I think that it's exciting to be here. Theater, I just think it's very exciting to be here. It's an honor.
Okay, for us too. Thank you very much. It was a pleasure. Thank you.
Okay. Good luck. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Nice stay in Warsaw. Okay.
I thought there was a difference.